My testimony, folks. I've been telling you, I'm being told to talk about myself. Quick rundown for you new guys that haven't been following along with me for decades or even a year or even a couple of weeks. Uh, I was born before JFK was killed. It's a fact. The 60s and 70s automobiles, you couldn't beat them. They still can't be beat today. Um, and if they kept them original, they won't be computer controlled like they are today. Uh, as a child, I was smoking cigarettes at 11 years old. Still smoke them today. That's probably the biggest foolish thing I've ever done in my life. And I don't know that I'll ever give it up. I was born with, inherited through my genes. They claim today by doctors that I had COPD at birth, that I carry this gene that would pass it on to my own children. That's what they tell me today. Now, when I was born, they actually claimed I was born with asthma, which my mother had asthma. Had it pretty bad, especially when we lived in the northeastern part of this country. After we moved out west, she didn't have all the problems she had when we lived in Indianapolis or in Greenwood, Indiana. Didn't have all them problems. But I also was born with a heart problem. Now, when I was a kid, they told me, "Oh, you're hyperventilating," because my heart rate would go up to 200. I'll tell you what, I don't know what it was going up to when I was a child, in my before I was a teenager. I don't know what it was going up to. They'd tell me, just breathe in this paper sack. Just breathe in and out in the paper sack. That's what they told me. Never have. Uh, I, like I said, I started smoking at 11 years old. That doctors told me if I smoked anything, I wouldn't live to see 30. These flies are bugging me around here. They said I wouldn't live to see 30. I proved them wrong. I after I graduated high school, I'm not going. My whole childhood is a story of its own. I joined the Army. Fort Sill, Oklahoma is where infantry, I was a part of the infantry. Fort Sill, Oklahoma, I was there. And it was the coldest, coldest it had been in over 100 years. I was there. I went there in like November, I think it was, or December. This fly is aggravating me. Uh, at that point, with the lung problems I had, uh, along with my heart problem that I had, they said I passed all the physicals and everything, the written test, everything, got signed up, sworn in, swore the oath the first time. And then when I left to go there to Fort Sill, I swore another oath once I got there, or either before I went or once I got there. Swore that oath twice. But because of the time frame, my lungs, my heart, and everything, the military decided to not keep me, send me home with a medical discharge under honorable conditions. All facts, folks. All this can be proven by my background. As soon as I got home, I loaded my 1973 Plymouth Fury 3 with all my stuff in Greenwood, Indiana, and I went straight down to West Palm Beach, Florida. Moved. I wasn't staying in Indiana. I wasn't. That town killed everybody that stayed there, as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to try to keep these in 10-minute videos. Down in Florida, I had some family members that would go down there during the winter and then come back north, back to Tennessee for the summer, and then next winter they would go back down there. They were working construction. They were framers and drywallers and painters and all that. My dad was a painter as well, but my dad worked for the oil companies up in Indiana, and he worked for Standard, Shell, and Sunoco, I think it was. And they went around painting all the gas stations and garages. That's what my dad did for a living. My other family that in Tennessee, they did from framing, drywall, plumbing, electric. They did it all. You know, these guys. I come from a family of builders. That's what they are, builders. But I didn't want to do that, folks. I told my dad, and my dad had me painting houses at probably 12, 13 years old. We were painting my house and other people's houses and our house and other people's houses in the neighborhood. Once we got done with ours, other people, well, will you guys come down, paint all right? My dad, oh yeah, we'll come down and do it on the weekends. I didn't have no choice. I was painting houses before I believe before I was even a teenager. Guys, gonna have to wait and see what happened after I became a teenager, because we're at going on 10 minutes. I love you. God loves you more. He sent his son down here to save us all. But you have to seek him. You have to seek the Son to find the Father. I love you. I hope you do. But if you don't, hell's in your future. Whether you believe me or not. All I can say to that, watch and see. But I still love you.